All right, this is every movie I watched in January. Thought this would be a fun exercise. So, Letterboxd diary. I've been trying to watch more movies this year, and at least at minimum, I need to review in some fashion. So, if I feel like I have something to say for myself to learn or whatever, I'll comment on the image and styles and techniques used with cinematography. And if not, I'll say something. I'm forcing myself to say something about the story, about the movie, whatever. And yeah, I'm trying to watch at least 150 movies, and what did I say? At least 100 of them need to be like older, at least like 10 years old, stuff that's like acclaimed or I can learn something from. All right. January 2nd, Stranger Things 5 finale. Okay, we can't get into that. Yeah. They could have done a lot more. That's all I'm going to say there. And well, that's for another day. The mine stuff was cool. There were some good shots, some bad shots. Marty Supreme, January 4th. So sick. Such a lived-in world. The production design was immaculate. Camera work. I can't imagine how much of a headache it is to go through all these scenes, and every single shot you're like shooting through something, long lens, or like chaos, something's moving through the frame, and then every time you rerun the line you got to reset that, and then you still got to make eye lines work and acting, and yeah. Story-wise, there's probably going to be spoilers in here. I don't know. This isn't a freaking review, like a non-spoiler review. I'm just talking. The story, I think, was a blast. Like, he's imperfect. He's got problems. He's relentlessly running after something he cares about, throwing his humanity away the whole time. And then finally, the resolution is that he finds pride and accomplishment in a way where he didn't expect it, and in a way that's humbling to him. He chooses to step up. Well, we expect that he's going to step up and be a man in a new way at the end, with the baby. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. I think the Safdie movies are so good at, like, you don't feel like the things happening are just there for the plot. Like, you feel like everything is a real world that's lived in, that's happening to the character, and you're like, frick, now what? Every time something goes wrong with the character. Whereas, I don't know, Disclosure Day, it's like everything that happens, to use that as a recent example, everything that happens is like, well, of course it's going to happen because the story needs it to happen, you know? Whereas the script of Marty Supreme was so natural, so lived in, so people talking over each other. It all felt like very real characters. Really well done. Okay, I won't spend that much time on all of them. Truman Show, January 5th. Had never seen it. Super good, really well shot, creative. There's a whole lot you could say about simulation, whatever. I watched it right after Stranger Things, so my review is #ConformityGate confirmed, because there's a shot in season 5 that he circled on the board like the Truman Show, and there's also just like the whole concept of the Truman Show. We felt like that's what was happening with back on ConformityGate to now. Smashing Machine, 3 out of 5. I feel like there could have been a little more build, and they could have made me care a little more and have a little more payoff at the end. But it was really well done. It was maybe a bit slower, but it was, for the most part, entertaining. Really well shot, I think, in a similar way to Marty Supreme, just in a less frenetic and chaotic way. Every scene felt lived in, it felt real for the most part, so solid. The ninth, Black Bag, fun little crime thriller vibe. I think, spoiler, the second they the husband wife know what's up, it loses all the tension. So that was my main thing there. Cinematography was fine. It was pretty straightforward, maybe a little forced on some of the scenes. Felt a little unnatural. Zodiac, insane movie. I hadn't seen that before. Didn't know it was a true story. Had never seen it. Really well done. Acting is insane. I gave it a 4. Probably could have gave it a 4.5. Maybe I'll switch it. Thinking back, I feel like it's a 4.5. Alright, Gone Girl, another one really well done. Didn't know what to expect. Super interesting. Crazy wild ride. No Other Choice. Okay, we went. Skylar and Dan loved this one. I thought it was way too slow. I haven't seen a lot of Korean movies, but I've seen a handful. I think the easiest one to look at is Parasite. I think the way Parasite builds and gives you the payoff of the story and the characters towards the end, the story is progressing in a way where each new act, or at least each couple scenes, the story feels like we've moved forward. No Other Choice, it felt like 4 scenes would go by and it's like, okay, we're still navigating the same piece of the story here. And then another 4 scenes went by and I still felt the same way. And maybe my head was in the wrong spot. There was a scene with the husband and the wife, halfway through, I was like, oh, it's gonna cut to black. That was it. And it wasn't even close, so I don't think mentally I was not in the right spot. Stranger Things doc, yeah, I feel like Netflix is just trying to make the Duffers look bad. I don't know. Crazy production design on that show. The doc was... I feel like whoever cut and directed the doc has a vendetta against the Duffer Brothers. That's kind of how I felt. Or Netflix. I don't know. Someone. Dead Man's Wire, interesting. Didn't know it was real. Fun movie, fun shot. Went to the theaters. A lot of these that are new, we went to the theaters, like Stranger Things, Marty Supreme, Black Bag, I think we did theater, maybe not. No Other Choice theater, Stranger Things, Netflix, Dead Man's Wire theater. Went to Marty Supreme again. So sick. I watched the trailer a million times. The Rip, pretty solid. I don't know. It was a fun little bop. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It ripped a bit, didn't fully rip. A bit of a tear. Can work on our jokes a little bit. The Departed, crazy. Movie where you never feel good and you're half entertained, but you're gripped and locked in the whole time. That's how I felt. Really, really well done. Weapons, absolutely hate this. No, not for me. The Kids, no. Well, it was well done. I just hate the witchcraft and crap. Okay, Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings trilogy was in theaters for the 25th anniversary. Of course, we got a popcorn bucket, so obviously I'm gonna grab that. Okay. Where's the 25th anniversary here? Oh, I gotta wash this. I just used it. It's got the map on it. It's kind of sick. So, okay. I watched Lord of the Rings a ton. Love them. I wouldn't say they were oh, that's why I got into film, but I always loved the movies. I love the world building. I love the messaging behind everything. It's fairly biblical themed for the most part. Peak cinema. I'd never seen him in theaters. I went to all 3, extended edition, in theaters. I think the first one I was in Orange County. The second two I was in Minnesota. I would do that. I would do that every week of my life if I could. I think they're just so good. My words can't do them justice. What did I say? Did I say anything worthwhile? Yeah, instant tears. Don't believe in civilized cage. Oh. Yeah, these are the adventures I want. This is the life I want to live. Aragorn's so sick. Yeah, insane. The story is so good, and the way they depict Frodo, The Weight of the Ring is so good. The way they set up the story at the beginning of the first movie is so good. I've been listening to the Stories Are Soul Food podcast. Lord of the Rings is a prime example of that. Like, stories shape who we are as people. Yeah, so much good. House of Dynamite, I don't know. This one did not land for me. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a cool concept. Didn't really do it. Didn't do it for me. I think the way they split the perspectives could have had better payoff. I'm sure it's insanely hard to pull that off, but Begonia actually was pretty entertaining. I feel like some people, I understand why some people are like obsessed with it, but I was thinking, oh, they're actually going to do it. She's actually going to be the alien. Did I actually think they were going to? I don't know. Kinda. I didn't expect him to, but I thought they maybe would. Mercy felt like the weirdest, like, why are we watching this movie I've ever seen. It's like, I'm a super smart AI and I can do anything you want, but it's up to you to prove your own innocence. I don't know. What are we doing? Okay, final one. Ended strong. Train Dreams. Literally, for the every frame felt like a painting, bros. This movie is that. Beautiful. Super well executed on the natural light. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they lit stuff. I watched a little bit of behind the scenes. There's a lot of natural light. Really well shot, well acted. I don't know, maybe it's not a 5 worthy. The more I think about it, I'm like, it's maybe like 4.5. But very beautiful film. Oh, I have 4.5. When I gave the review, I gave it a 5, but then it switched to 4.5 already. Wow. I literally had the same exact thought a while back. So, yeah, it was very poetic, very beautifully shot, very sad. Yeah, it's like you live life with this man. I think it's one of those movies you finish and you're like thankful for life. You want to go outside and touch grass. You want to go live in a log cabin. It makes you appreciate everything you have, and not take life for granted. And I think that's something that's powerful about movies. So that's everything I watched in January. I started January pretty strong. February looked pretty strong as well, and March like crap. April, May was strong. I've been crushing. June's been a little more mellow. June's been a little hectic, but I think I'm gonna do one of these every month just for my own self as a little exercise. So there we go. Here, for the 2 of you that are gonna watch this and made it this far, follow me on Letterboxd. I'll put it on the screen. So.